Welcome back everyone, SweetBattlescars here, and I am back with another unboxing video. Today we're gonna look at the Banpresto Sculptures Ox King figure as he was seen in the original Dragon Ball. This is a very nice figure and it's super heavy. I can tell you the boxes for most of these figures, the Banpresto Sculptures figures, for the most part aren't really that heavy, but you know, if it's any indication, this is probably a massive figure. It's probably solid plastic, as it's extremely heavy. And alright, so a quick look at the box in case you guys wanted to know the weight. It's pretty heavy, you know, for a figure. Like I said, most of these boxes are very light. So on the box for this guy is actually very nice. We have some very dynamic shots of him here on the side. Nice shot of him in the background with the sculptor. And more shots of him, and this is a shot of the figures in the series. Goku, the Ox King, that's Lunch, that's Goku, Kid Goku, it's Krillin, and I forget this guy's name. I completely blanked on this guy's name, but of course there are 6 in the series, and so far I only have 2, the Ox King and Lunch. I don't have any of the Gokus or Krillin or this guy. I think I'm gonna find those guys soon though, and put them in my collection. So there you guys go, a quick look at the box. Let's, without further ado, let's just unbox this guy and see what he looks like. Again, I did mention that it's the Ox King as he appeared in the original Dragon Ball when he was king of Fire Mountain, I think it was. Something Mountain, I think it was Fire Mountain. And, you know, before his nice kind of a chill version in Dragon Ball Z. So he comes in several parts, several pieces. Wow, lots of pieces here. We got the base and his cape, and that's pretty much it for the box. Box is very light now. I didn't miss anything. All right, good. So we're gonna switch the light around here, and I know it's very bright. I'm sorry. Again, my camera is being funny and not cooperating in terms of the light. So let's start taking some of these pieces out. This is his head. Ooh, very nice finish on the helmet there. So I won't spend too much time looking at the pieces, at the separate pieces individually. I'm gonna, you know, put them all together and then we'll take a look at all the details. Nice little feather there. Got his axe here. Nice little axe. I don't know what this is. Maybe part of a handle or something. We'll see once we put the figure together. And like a little ribbon there. Something. Alright. Set that aside. This looks like it's part of his body. This is very bulky, very heavy. Solid piece of plastic. I love that this is solid plastic. I love when figures, you know, are just solid plastic and they have real weight to them, instead of just being like hollow and light. And this is a brand new figure, of course. You guys can see the bags are sealed. I had to rip it open. And here are his legs, and like I said, yeah, massive, very heavy, super solid. And you guys can see that he's got some very nice shading and coloration already. I can see that, and which is very nice for these figures. Most of these figures are not shaded or colored in this way. You guys can see lots of details there, highlights on his pants. Anyway, we're gonna save it for those details later. Next up is this other bulky piece here. It's probably his torso. Very excited about this figure, actually. I love how you know, classic characters from the original Dragon Ball get figures like these. And again, you guys can see sealed bag, brand new figure being opened for the very first time. Yep. And so here is the torso. Very cool, man. I love the sculpt on this. This guy did really well. The sculptor back here, you guys can see his picture kind of there. Sorry, don't have enough room here. Hey, there, you guys can see him there. Very nice sculpt. You guys can see the way he sculpted all the veins and the muscles. Very nice looking, very cool. And last but not least, or I guess actually this isn't the last piece. We still have the base there. is this cape, and very flexible plastic as I imagined, so nothing breaks. You guys can see that it stretches. I mean, I don't want to force it either too much, but it does stretch a bit, so it does give some room for flexing and moving so you don't break anything. But lots of shading on the cape too, very nice. I love how this guy sculpted this figure. And now really last but not least is the base, and it's got another one of those like clear bases. I really wish most of these figures would stick with the nice bases, like the launch figure that you guys might have seen in on my channel. It had a very nice figure with colors and you know, like dust and smoke, and the words Dragon Ball, or the letter, the logo for Dragon Ball on the side. Very nice looking base. But anyway, I'm being nitpicky, so we're gonna put the figure together. So his torso will snap into place. You guys can see that this piece here will fit into this cavity there for a nice mechanical lock. There you go. You guys can hear that nice sound. It's snapped together nicely, and you don't get any seam pretty much. The seam is completely hidden. Very awesome. I love when figures do that, or when sculptors do that. So the head goes into this cavity like so, again for a nice mechanical lock. You do get a bit of a seam there on the neck, but on the surface, on the top, it doesn't really bother me that much because his beard and jaw are there, and then the helmet pretty much covers the rest of the seam, and you can see it a little bit there. But I mean, what are you gonna do? It can't be perfect, right? So there's his body, and I think I probably had to put his cape. Yep, I had to put his cape first, so sorry about that. We gotta pull that out. So his cape will go in like so. It fits very nicely too. You guys can see that it little where it's tied here, it kind of fits in between his armor. So you guys can see there. It doesn't really hide much detail. It just kind of goes in there. So I like how it just fits very nicely in place. And then we can put his head in there. Okay, stay. There we go. Oh, the head doesn't want to go in anymore. There we go. Oh, and actually the cape really kind of does hides the seam a little bit. Not really, but it kind of distracts you from the seam. I mean, it completely hit it on this section. You can't really see it anymore. You can't see the seam in there anymore. You can see it a little bit on this side, but again, I'm just being picky here. Okay, and then let's see. His little feather goes up here. I guess I shouldn't say little. It's a pretty big feather. So there you go. You can see that it sticks on his head like so. Very nicely. And then I guess I'm kind of going by the picture. I don't... Okay, so this goes in the front. You guys can see there that he has a little mechanical joint too there. So there we go. That kind of snaps in there into place. Very nice. And then last but not least is his axe. And I'm assuming, yeah, it just goes through his... Yep. So this is the handle. The handle just gonna goes through his hand like so. And then at the top we get the axe. I gotta see where that joint is. Here we go. Alright, there we go. So there's his axe, and the whole figure is now assembled. And we just set him on his base. Well, it's very snug. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Not too difficult. Kind of pretty much is in there. There we go. All right, took some effort there. It's a heavy figure. I mean, let me tell you guys, it's a pretty heavy figure. It's solid plastic, and I love it. I love how massive it is. So there you guys go. Let's take a look at the figure now. Let's zoom in here slowly to look at some of the details. You guys can see that the sculptor really did a great job. Really took his time with the details. You guys can see some of the details on the muscles. I mean, the muscles are so detailed. You can see every ligament there. Kind of details there. Some veins, scratches even, I think. And you guys can see on the cape, very nicely colored, very nicely shaded too. You can see some highlights here on the red, some darks here, some shadows on some of the folds here, the way his cape is folding, and it's got some like scratches, maybe slight battle damage there, some just to give it a little bit of a texture there. Very cool. The other arm is just as detailed as well. And I love these lines. This is the kind of thing that you see like in the manga all the time, or in the anime too a little bit. These like lines. I think he did a really good job of capturing or the painter, or after the paint job, because these are painted. You can see the lines that Akira Toriyama put on his drawings a lot. Akira Toriyama used to do this a lot, so I think the sculptor really captured that, or the designer, the painter, whoever came up with that. It's very cool. I like seeing all those little crosshatches here and there. They're not crosshatches, they're just kind of lines to give it some texture. As far as his face goes, very nicely detailed as well. You guys can see his teeth, his tongue, the inside of his mouth. It's everything is nicely rendered, very nicely defined. His beard too, nice colors there, some darks and some highlights there. Very nice looking. His helmet too, it's a very nice like coppery color. It looks more like bronze, maybe like brass, I guess. No, maybe like weathered brass or bronze, but it's very glossy, looks very metallic. The horns are also very nicely detailed. His little feather, it's just a nice color blue there, a little bit of shading, a little bit of highlighting there, but not much. Doesn't really need it either way. The axe also, you can see all the texture there, very nice. Got a little bit of a loose little thread there, but very nice looking axe. Like little lines there, scratches. You can see all the wear and tear on the axe. Yeah, this figure is awesome. It's very nicely detailed. I think from all the other figures, it's one of the figures that has the most detailed. I mean, I haven't seen this level of detail on even the Goku that I have doesn't have this much detail. This is by far the most detailed figure in the Sculpture series. I can tell you that for sure. So again, the first thing I noticed when I took out his body was this little blue cloth that he has around his waist. It's very nicely painted, very nicely rendered there. His pants too, some nice highlights at the knee there too, and his shoes too. You guys can see this nice highlight there, nice shading there on his cape too, more on his shoe there, and that's it. So very awesome figure, looks very solid. The pose isn't as dynamic, but I mean, again, it's the Ox King, so he's not gonna go like flying through the air or anything. He probably could if he wanted to, but for the most part, it's a very solid figure, very bulky, very square. But I like it that way. I mean, that's what the Ox King looks like. Just a massive, bulky guy. And I love the level of detail that the designer gave this guy, or the sculptor gave this figure. Very awesome in terms of the sculpt. And the paint job is phenomenal. I'm very happy with the paint job that they did on this guy. So I think that's all I have to say about this figure, guys. I'm very pleased with it. It's turning out to be one of my favorite figures in the Sculptures series. Very nice looking. Yeah, the pose, everything is great. The texture, the color, the paint job, everything is nice. So there you guys go. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next unboxing video. See you guys next time.